let's talk about the difference between Touchbase for assistants and Touchbase for real estate agents. We'll cover settings, your active inbox, sending messages, reports, the Touchbase calendar, and the listing dispatch. The first thing we'd like to clarify is that any changes that you make in the new interface will be reflected in the previous version. To illustrate this, let's add an email to Gregory Charles's reception profile. So we switch over to Gregory's account by clicking on his name, go to Settings. There are dedicated videos on the reception profile in the playlist link below. We will click on Reception Profile, click on Add Email, add the email, hit Save at the bottom. And now, in order to look in the previous version, we're going to have to switch to our own profile. So we click on Gregory Charles's name, click on our name, and now we can switch back to the previous version. Go to Profiles, click on the little plus sign next to Gregory's name, and here in the reception profile, we can see the email that we just added. Let's switch back to the new version by clicking on New Version in the menu. As we covered in the introduction, one of the differences in the assistant version is that you now have your own active inbox. You'll find all the messages that were sent to you in Touchbase here. The send message function lets you send other messages when you're connected as yourself. So I'll click on Other Message, type in the name of the recipient, click on his name, enter the message, hit send. And if you want to send other types of messages, you can personify one of your colleagues. I'm going to click on the profile picture, click on Bob, and now if I click on Send Messages, I have all these other types of messages. For more information on send messages, please consult the links below. This will also let you access all the reports that your colleagues have. And please note that it will always be reflected when you send a message on your colleague's behalf in the reports. So let's take a look. I'm going to click on Detailed, click on the Sent tab. The date range is already correct. Message is all types. Let's click on Display Report. And if we scroll all the way to the bottom, we can see that the showing request has the sender as Orlando Bloom, but it is from Bob Bungalow. Also, the assistant's initials will be displayed at the end of messages. When you're not personifying one of your colleagues, your own reports section only displays messages to and from you. So I'm going to click on Bob's name. We're going to switch back to Orlando. Now, let's look at the reports. We're going to generate a detailed report, Sent tab. Again, the date ranges are correct. And if we click on Display Report, we only see the other message that we sent earlier. The next difference is in the calendar section. As we mentioned before, you can see all of your teammates' showings at a glance. But if you're not personifying one of your colleagues, you can't modify the showings. To do that, you need to personify the colleague in question. So since this is Bob, I'm going to X out here, click on my profile name, switch to Bob, and if I click on his calendar, click on this listing, now we can go to Message, and hit Reply. Bob is the showing agent here, so we can either modify our request or cancel it. Let's cancel it in this scenario. So we click on Cancel, we type in the message, hit Send, and now we've just canceled Bob's showing, reflected in it not being in the calendar anymore. For more information on the Touchbase calendar, please consult the links below. The next difference is in the listing dispatch. Let's switch over to Orlando's profile. So I'm going to click on the profile picture, select Orlando, and go to Settings. As an unlicensed assistant, you do not have a default listing dispatch. But if there are listings that you're not getting communications for, you can include yourself by clicking on My Listings, clicking on the listing in question, going to Listing Dispatch, and you can include yourself in the communications by clicking on your name, and then clicking on Always on all the message types that you would like to include. We want them all in this scenario, and hitting Save at the bottom. And now you'll be getting all communications for this listing. You'll find more information on the listing dispatch in the videos linked below. To ensure that you won't have to do this for every listing, you can double check your colleague's default listing dispatch. So let's switch over to Bob. I'm going to click on my name, select Bob, go to his settings, and Bob is an agent, so we can look into his listing dispatch, and we can see that Orlando Bloom is not included. Let's include ourselves by default. So we're going to click on our name, select always for all the message types, just like we did for the listing in question, and hit save at the bottom. And now we'll be included in all of Bob's communications for all of his listings. We hope you found this training video helpful. For comprehensive tutorials on each feature, please refer to the links below. We also invite you to contact us directly by going in the help section if you need support or to give us feedback. Thank you for taking the time to explore the new assistant interface with us today.